This the War Report, coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve Cap, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric, and the voice of NEW, Vince Berry, hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT, handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG+.
Remix.
No idea what's happening. I haven't touched anything.
That's the remix. That's the remix. That's the remix, Steve.
Oh boy, what a start!
All right, I shut it down.
Okay. The soundboard crashed. That's nice.
If I knew the song, I'll rap it for you.
I don't know what's happening.
This is wonderful. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Now there's a delay.
Live TV.
Okay. I think we're having an issue with Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a delay, but I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. But welcome everyone to the War Report. That got all fucked up. I have no idea what just happened.
Woo, neither do I. I wish I could see what was going on your screen.
Well, and the funny thing is, all this is happening, and I'm touching nothing. So I'm like, I don't understand what's good. Right. We have, I'm going to assume Tara. Hey, guys. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Same to you. Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and Christmas Eve. Well, we got to start.
Oh, it is
David Roska.
Christmas.
Before we even got on the air today, he saw the Iron Claw about the Von Erichs. David, if you are listening, give us some info. How was it? Was it everything you expected and more? I mean, they all look great. It's getting good reviews, so I'm definitely excited to see it. And yes, that was Tara. So welcome everyone to the show.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of open tonight. We had SmackDown, which was taped, I believe, but we did get Roman 2 weeks in a row. So that was nice. But again, if it was pre-taped, then he was already there. So it's not like he went out of his way.
He didn't make it 2 weeks in a row. He showed up 1 week and filmed twice. But
right.
That's what we're saying.
But he was there twice.
Anyway.
And listen, and it is kind of what we've been saying. He didn't come out. Like, it was all back. Right. Well, no, he came out at the end. But I don't know. David Roska, he said the movie is great. All right, awesome. I definitely want to see it. So rave reviews from our good friend David Roska.
I might, because I heard it's going to come to Max. So I might wait for it to come to streaming so I don't have to, like, go to the theater and watch it.
See, I still like going to the movies. I
don't mind it. I don't know. I haven't really been that. I guess this is, if I'm going to go for something, I might as well go for this because, like, I don't know. I haven't really had, there aren't a lot of movies that I would have gone to the theater for.
Same here. I usually just go for Marvel movies and Fast and the Furious, honestly.
The one that I watched on streaming that now, in hindsight, I wish I saw in the theaters was the last James Bond movie. Because that was like I got a big TV, but I think that movie probably looked really cool in a theater.
Oh, that makes sense. It does. Like my wife wanted the other, she goes to me like, oh well, that Aquaman movie just came out. Let's watch it on our Fire Stick. I'm like, I don't know, babe. That's not a Fire Stick kind of movie for me.
Well, listen, it's a Fire Stick movie versus paying for it for sure.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
David Roska, Trish Stratus is returning in 2024.
Right. I love the positivity and of this. I need a source.
Wait. So then he says she really needs to just stay away. She had a great run, make it to the end for her. if she comes back and isn't great, then that's the last memory of her, not her greatness like Kurt Angle.
Bro, where's this come? Oh wow, that's the most. I don't know how to say, like. That is the most eloquent set of sentences I've ever seen David type in a row. And not to say that he's not an eloquent guy, but just like that was a full paragraph of a thought. That was.
But here's my thing: she just came back, recently, right?
Yeah.
What gives anybody the impression that it would be
she
bad?
Can still go.
She
Right.
can still
Exactly.
go.
I agree.
It's not, it's not a situation where, you're like right now, like if Kurt Angle gets in the ring, for example.
No, you see, he's a meme now.
I know, it's horrible.
The friggin' the eyes. Well, because God, his eyes have been like that. I guess because of the whatever extracurricular activities he was getting into in his younger years. But now it's like a full blown that thing where he's like looking. It's like it's a meme now. Like I've seen it in places that are not wrestling related, which is weird. What's on the docket here, Steven?
Well, I was kind of thinking it is the end of the year.
Yep.
Raw and SmackDown are all going to be best of.
Yeah.
That's what it was on the Monday.
Right. So maybe we should do kind of like a year end, like talk about who we think, categories and kind of make our own lists and kind of see what we think. I mean, we can also talk a little bit about SmackDown. SmackDown was a decent show. It was great to see Roman throughout the whole show for a change, and then come out in the end and have that interaction in the ring, with Randy. So it looks like things are progressing. I mean, overall, it was a pretty good show. We do have, I don't know, SmackDown. Well, SmackDown lately has just been a good show, but I loved most of all was the interaction between Nick Aldis and Roman for the first time.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Has Roman been off TV that long? He hasn't interacted with Nick Aldis.
Well, yeah.
Been there for like
so
ever.
he's sitting in his locker room with Heyman, and he says, "Who's running things around here now?" or something like that. And Heyman goes, "That would be Nick Aldis." And Roman looks at him and says, "Bring him to me." So Heyman's like, "Well, I think I really should tell you a little bit about," and Roman goes, "Bring him to me."
Ooh.
So they come back from commercial, and now Nick walks in and introduces himself. Roman says to Heyman, "Leave us." So now Nick sits on the couch. Roman's kind of, chilling, like laid back, and he goes, "So let me get this straight. You made a match for Solo to wrestle tonight against Randy Orton, right? It was against Randy, I think. You booked a match between LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy, and the winner faces me at the Rumble. Okay, so you do all that. Good decisions. Except you didn't run any of it by me. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. I'm the one that runs things here. So you are supposed to be running things by me." And then Nick is basically like, "Well, I'm the big dog around here now, and I don't have to run shit by you," basically. And that was their first interaction, and we'll see where it goes. And Roman was not happy with the way that went down. But it was a very cool interaction between the two. It also sounds like Nick Aldis as general manager may be very short-lived.
Hey man, I am all set for Aldis Mania.
Because I'm hearing big rumors that
He's the one. Steve, we've been talking about it. Cody's not finishing the story. Nick Aldis is the one, dude.
We're not adding another one. No, but I think
Cody's
Regal.
gonna finish the story with the women's tag team championship.
Yeah.
He's going to win the 24/7 championship off Tozawa.
William
Oh my God.
Regal is rumored to be coming back to TV.
Yeah.
So you put him in that spot and you make Aldis an active member of the roster.
Well, he might be because All Japan Pro Wrestling announced that an NXT wrestler was coming over to All Japan to work a tournament or work a match or something.
I heard that.
And it ended up being Charlie Dempsey. And the person that cut the promo for Charlie Dempsey was William Regal. So, yeah, his 1 year, whatever, non-compete for television has expired. So he cuts the promo for him. What I'm thinking, maybe they have him for a little while manage his son and help him. Because if he's cutting the promos already for him, maybe he's like, yeah, we'll stick them together for a little while and then eventually separate them and have Regal go back to doing what he does best. I mean, I can't. It's so weird to say, but the guy's a great wrestler. He's been a great general manager for 20 years. Even when he was an active wrestler, he was a great general manager.
I just want him to come back and say War Games, and I'll be happy.
He needs to come out and say War Games right before the Royal Rumble, and have R-Truth come out and say, "No, man, it's the wrong pay-per-view."
R-Truth is the greatest.
He's the best.
No, what about you have him interview him, like introduce him. William Regal comes out, gets a great ovation, and then R-Truth goes like, "It's War Games," and then he goes to him, "Nah, man, this is the Royal Rumble." He's like, "Oh, it is?
My
bad.
bad.
That one's on me. That's on me."
My bad.
Fantastic. Oh, man.
Okay, I hate to sound stupid, but I've never seen him Aldis wrestle. Is he any good? You don't sound stupid. The only way you would really know much about Nick Aldis is if you watched NWA or
TNA,
early TNA wrestling. That's really where he became kind of a big star. He is also married to Mickie James. And it does sound like there's a chance Mickie may be coming back to the company now too. So
Especially with the whole Charlotte thing, and because what's her name? Monet's asking for stupid amount of money.
which from what I'm understanding, WWE has not said no.
They haven't said no. They haven't said yes.
Correct.
Did you see? So she put up a thing. Mercedes Moné put up a Christmas picture yesterday of her dressed in a sexy Santa costume, whatever, tree and snow and shit in the background. But the caption was, "Happy, happy holidays. All I want for Christmas is Monet." And of course, happy, happy holidays were all capitalized H, H, H.
Huh. And Monet could
It's
mean
her-
more,
yes,
more
right.
Monet, more Monet. Yeah,
It's all
I get
about
Well,
the money.
From what
I
I
like it.
understand, Charlotte is currently the highest paid woman on the roster, and she's asking for like 10 times more than what Charlotte asked for.
She's asking, did I hear this right? That for whatever term, I want to say she wants 3 years at $3 million total. So she's making $1 million a year, or is she asking for $3 million a year and signing on for 3 years? So it's a total of $9 million.
I
It's
don't
one of
know.
the two. I saw the $3 million.
I gotta tell you though, if it's
Well,
if it's
she
the
gets that, we should nickname her. What's her first name again?
Sasha, well, Mercedes.
No,
sure.
Mercedes Otani should be her new wrestling. Mercedes. If she gets that, it's definitely Mercedes Otani.
I mean-
Dodgers uniform.
I mean, listen,
She should.
the first of the two, $1 million a year, 3 years. I don't think she's asking for anything unreasonable, quite honestly.
How much does Charlotte make? Do we know?
I don't know.
There's probably something out there. If we had Ryan's working.
Ryan,
because
I
of
was
that
about to
whole
say
thing,
Ryan
yeah.
would be the guy.
Because what happens is and I just don't have a computer in front of me to do it, because I'm streaming right now. But there's lists out there like end of the year things where it's publicly available. It might not be 2023, but it can give you a good idea of where she was maybe a couple 2-3 years ago. Those lists get leaked out every once in a while, and it used to be guys like John Cena topping the list. Now Roman's at the top, and yeah, Charlotte's up there. I don't know if she's making. God, you would assume she's making. Like I can't. There's a certain amount of kayfabe to everything in wrestling. Wrestlers are celebrities. They make a lot of money. They afford enough to maintain a certain lifestyle. But then there's the TV on top of it where they're like, no, this person's like really rich and like really famous. So I don't know what the scale is. I know that the NXT guys used to make like a little under 200 grand a year, which is like fucking fantastic. And if that's still a thing, that's like you live off that for the rest of your life. Making 200 grand a year. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And then
It's definitely a decent amount of money.
yeah, I think maybe they're at 87 grand at one point. And now they're probably they're over that. 87 was like 2012 numbers, but yeah, I mean Roman's probably making multiples of millions, 2 million a year, somewhere around there.
I think he has to be making more than a couple. I think he has to be like close to like
You think it's
4 or
10s?
5.
Oh, okay, 4 or 5. Yeah. Well, I'm saying because there's that's yeah.
Because didn't Brock or John make like 6 like a year or two ago?
Oh man! Well, if that's the case, then yes, he's up. He's definitely up there. I wonder if it's because there's your salary.
Well, you got to
and then
remember
there's
too, because you have your
merch.
merch, right? I was going to say Bloodline.
Steve, you
was
don't have your
number one-
computer up because I'm just working off my phone and I can't get out of the thing. I really would like to know like the top 10 salaries of WWE. Now
Yeah,
I'm
throw that into
intrigued.
Google real quick. I'm doing the same thing. I'm on my phone.
All right, I got it.
Steve,
Hang on. I'm
bro,
on it.
Steve,
I'm on it.
You know what I was just thinking right now, man? This
Yeah.
would have been the perfect week to done the Mount Rushmore.
You're fucking right.
The
I know,
right
yeah.
week, perfect week.
Right?
Forgot about that.
I know. We really got to do that though. That's a good one.
I mean, honestly, we could have the discussion right now because
Well,
it's just a discussion. If we take it by decades, we could all have one, and we could all agree with one in a way. You know, if you think about it.
That's
What do
very
you
true.
have? You have the golden era. No, well, you know the eras, Vince, a little better than me. So, what are the eras, and what eras would you categorize for? We could do Mount Rushmores. How many eras will we need?
So I just asked my
All right,
Amazon Echo. You can
All
see,
right.
see if it came up with the same thing, Steve. What is it? What did they say?
All right. So at number 12, Kevin Owens at 2 million.
Ooh,
At 11, Ronda Rousey at 2.1. This is for 2023.
right. It's last year.
2023
Yeah,
or 22?
23.
Oh,
Okay,
So for
so
this
this is
year.
up to date.
Damn.
Number 10, The Miz at 2.5 million.
He does have a show.
Number 9, The Undertaker at 2.5 million.
Wow, number 9 makes 5 mil. These guys are making money.
Yeah.
Number 8, Becky Lynch at 3 million.
Wow,
Okay.
and she just resigned too, didn't she? She just got a new contract,
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did.
She signed on for another
3 years. I think.
AJ Styles at number 7, 3.5 million.
Are you shitting me? Wow.
Number 6,
And they don't even use them.
That's what I'm
Seth-
saying.
freaking Rollins at 3.5 million.
That
So
I
makes
could see
more
him.
sense.
I could see him up there. He's a workhorse.
at number 5, Sir Randall K. Orton at
Makes sense.
4.5 million.
Yowza. And he doesn't. He's been injured. He barely
Right.
wrestles
So
Wait,
he's been
now-
cashing in, baby.
Now, here's the mind fuck of them all. You ready? At number 5, Logan fucking Paul at $5 million.
That doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me.
No,
To see him make $5 million in a year.
No, he's a
as opposed
celebrity,
to-
bro. It's the
I
amount of
know.
money he brings. The
But you
revenue
know
he
what?
brings to the company.
At this point, Randy Orton's a celebrity. AJ
Yeah, but
Styles
Randy
is
Orton,
Not like Logan
I
Paul,
love Randy
though.
Orton, and I hate Logan Paul. But there's
Right.
no way you could compare the fandom of Logan Paul to Randy Orton.
Yeah,
With all
dude,
due
he's got.
respect.
Yeah, he's
All
got
right, well.
fans. I mean, not that Randy Orton doesn't, but like, he reaches out to a demographic,
young people.
right? And that's like the same thing with Bad Bunny. He reaches a demographic, not just young people, but like specifically young Hispanic people. And like Logan Paul reaches out to the Zoomer generation, all that shit. That's the purpose of those guys. And I can see he must be bringing in way more than $5 million. Think about it this way:
How
If
many?
he's
How many
bringing-
followers does he have? Doesn't the guy got like 100 million
He's got
followers?
like I think he's got like over 100 million followers.
Like, I think that in itself pays for $5 million in a way.
Right, because you're getting $5 million worth of advertising out of when he tweets stuff and goes to appearances wearing the belt and goes on TV wearing the belt and stuff like that.
And Vince, just think about this, Vince. Just think about how many of his fans, because I truly believe his merchandise are bought from his 100 million fans, not
100%.
the universe.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a combination. There's probably a small there's Logan Paul fans that watch wrestling regularly, but I think, and they'll probably buy stuff. But I think you're right. They're not just buying shirts within the WWE universe. It's the Logan Paul.
Correct.
Reach.
His brand is buying shirts. People.
Right. And it's Jake Paul again. I think he just boxed again. But so Jake Paul and Logan Paul, their fans. It's one of those things where they don't ask a lot of them. They ask them every 3 or 4 months to tune into a big event, like a big pay-per-view or a boxing thing or a wrestling match. So they don't burn them out. Hey, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. I mean, they're marketing Prime and all this stuff, but I feel like they ask for these big events, and then that's when the fans turn. So when you churn out a special WrestleMania Logan Paul T-shirt, and you're asking Logan Paul fans to take like one night out of their lives to watch Logan Paul wrestle at WrestleMania, they'll take that and they might not watch any other wrestling event of the year, and
they'll
buy a Seth Rollins shirt, but they will buy that. Yeah,
correct. And not only that, think about this. Like, think about the genius, and this is where you go back to Vince McMahon, right? Of his mentality years ago when he started this universe. Most of these kids are probably going to be like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just join the universe for $10 a month and let them just take it out for the year instead of just ordering a per pay-per-view. Because Logan Paul does 1 or 2 a year. So they're probably going to be like, well, we got him. So there goes, I don't know, if he has 100 million followers, let's just say 1 million decide to buy the goddamn pay-per-view.
And that's 1% of his fans. That's not a hard ask to ask.
It's not. 1%
of a
1% of his people. And dumb it down. Take 0.5%.
Yeah.
Take 500,000 people giving you $10 a month extra. It's nuts. It's great right.
Marketing. Or if they buy a $25 or $30 T-shirt, that's $30 million in the pocket right there.
At number 3, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, at $5 million.
All right, yeah.
So Logan Paul ain't gonna make more than the head of the table.
So this is number 3?
That was number 3.
So number 1 has to be Cena and Brock. Or Cena, Brock, and Cody Rhodes. Cody wasn't there. Well, no, Cody Rhodes was there. So I'm going to have to say it's Brock and Cody, top 2.
Number 2, John Cena at $8.5 million.
So Brock has to be 1.
And number 1, Brock fucking Lesnar at $12 million.
Wow, 12?
Christ.
What's amazing is that Cody then isn't in the top 12. How could that
gotta be? Maybe it's not enough. Maybe
he's 13.
Yeah, but
maybe that 23 was for year 22. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true too.
So in that year, he wasn't there all year. He came in no, he didn't even. When did he come in? WrestleMania?
He came in 21, didn't he?
And he got injured. He wasn't there all year. He was injured too.
But that would put it because Kevin Owens was at the bottom of that list at what, like 2 million?
At 12.
12. Yeah. So he had 2. So Cody could be just under that at 1.9, or he could be at 2 million.
Right.
I mean, now he's probably making more now. Now, Steve, was that salary or was that merch stuff included?
You know what? It didn't say. It said salary.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So it could very well be merch on top of that.
That could just be their base salary, man. You could be talking way more than that.
It's crazy. Brock Lesnar makes $12 million a year.
And he wrestles what, like 5 matches, 6 matches a year?
Actually, no, sir. He wrestled more than Mr. Roman Reigns this year. We can't say that.
That's true. That's
Damn.
true.
That's nuts that Brock Lesnar wrestled more than our Universal Champion.
It really is.
And yet, so sad that I still got excited that we got him 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, look, he's still the champion. You're a fucking mark, so it makes sense.
I love the presentation. I love the music. I love the arrogance. I love Heyman. I love it all. And Jimmy is so underrated in this whole thing. He's
Jimmy's the new Jay.
funny. Right.
Jimmy's the new
funny.
Jay.
It's so funny. I love it.
The only thing that really fucked up with Jimmy is he I guess it's fine now because he's doing this thing with Roman where he's getting over kind of annoying Roman, but I thought he lost some steam, seeming like he was siding with his brother and then turned on him, and then it just kind of seemed like he went back to the same spot he was in the bloodline, and Roman really didn't appreciate or acknowledge that Jimmy was a big part of, you know what I mean? Like, it just felt like he just kind of stepped back in line. I was like, oh, all right. I thought maybe we had something going here where the Usos as a brothers were going to go against Solo and Roman, but they didn't go that way.
Never say never.
No, I know, but I just meant in general. I thought that might have been the direction that they would go. Rather than having in the middle of Jimmy's big match or Jay's big match, have Jimmy turn on him. Maybe still side with him, but like I said, they didn't go that way.
All right. So you want to do this Everest deal?
It's not. It's Rushmore. Everest is the one you climb.
I said Everest. I meant Rushmore.
Ah,
It's been a very long day. You want to do this now?
I still can't get over. Yeah, because he's the world champion. You're a fucking mark. Like, I can't get over that. Can we just talk about that for a second? What the fuck? Al just comes out hot. I love it. Like, that was the best. That's the best thing I've heard all day.
I can't even come back because it's not wrong. When it comes to Roman, I'm a mark.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I can't argue.
He's still the champion. You're a fucking mark. It's just beautiful.
I do. I love the whole thing. I do.
Something is funny, right? I just thought about something. You're a little bit of a mush, Steve, when it comes to wrestlers. Every time you get attached to one, they seem to disappear from TV.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
Oh no.
Yo, it's fucking horrible. If you think about it.
You know what's funny, Vince? Al, I don't even know if Al was even on the show when we've had the conversations about, I'm not allowed to go on cruises anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Al, you know about this?
Yes, the last time you went on a cruise, some shit happened.
Oh, no.
Cody
Oh,
Rhodes
no.
got hurt, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not last time. It's every time.
Yeah.
Every time I go, something catastrophic happens. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
One time he went and Roman announced his cancer thing, right? That was one of them?
I get off the fucking boat. I turn on my phone and I have 1,000+ fucking messages.
Dude, you gave Roman cancer?
All of right? That, see why I'm such a mark now? I feel bad.
He got on a boat and 2 days later Vince McMahon got fired.
Yeah.
Get off the cruise.
It was what is happening?
Jump off the cruise, Steve. Jump off.
I go away to sleepaway camp. I come back. Hulk Hogan turns heel and joins the NWO for the first time. I'm like, what the fuck?
You should have stayed on that cruise. That was great.
That was the greatest fucking turn ever in history.
But it really is a thing. It seems like whenever Steve goes on a cruise, some shit happens, and then
listen,
he doesn't know about it he finds out 2 days later.
This is going to be on record as of today, 12/26 of 23. There's plenty of warning. This may be a premonition, but I am going on a cruise in June.
Oh, no.
It's only for 3 days, so I'm hoping.
Okay.
So that means somebody's going to make an appearance on Raw before SummerSlam. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
I got you.
That's what that means.
But yeah, so I don't know. Should we do this Rushmore thing? I don't know.
Do we want to do it by 80s, 90s, 2000s?
Yeah. We got to separate them by categories. Golden era, Attitude era, whatever the hell before that era.
Right.
But and it has to yeah, you definitely have to do it by eras. You have to do it by
Because
eras.
it's, I mean, God, man, the 80s. Because when we think of 80s, we think of Hogan era 80s. But before that, you had like, you know, your Harley race stuff, and
All right,
even
like,
Flair was working. And
can I show my age real quick? Could we just stay from like Hulk Hogan and under, please?
yeah. Well, that's all right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that I think maybe what, like 85, 84, 85.
I was born in '85, so I think '85
yeah.
is
So
fair.
we'll do. So why don't we do so like the new so like that? Well, all right. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with the old school WWF generation of the Hogan and Macho Man guys. Then we'll talk like maybe new generation era, and that's when WCW around the same time. So wait, oh yeah, you got to include new generation WCW, and it was like the new generation era and the Monday Night Wars era all kind of together.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
to be fair, if we could split up 2 Mount Rushmores, one for WCW, one for WWE in that era.
That's true.
I was actually thinking the same
because
thing.
there's a lot of talent that deserve on both sides.
No, that's true. All right, yeah, all right, so we can do this then. All right, how about we start with the old school WWF? I mean, Hogan's on there, Macho's on there. Everybody past that is kind of like. Then you start talking about, does Jake should be on there? Should DiBiase be on there? But there's other guys that like Andre. Should Andre?
I have a
be
question.
on there?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can tag teams go as one face?
I'll allow it. I think that's fair. What do you think?
So I will go with my Legion of Doom, man. Road Warrior. That was my squad. If I had to put a tag team in every era, I think that's fair. I think we should put one tag team in one face of every era, and then take 3 additional players. Because it's not fair for tag teams. We have some great tag teams, man.
Yeah, but then
you could do definitely do a Rushmore just for tag teams.
Yeah, I mean,
fair enough.
Or maybe mention like do the 4 and then mention a tag team that you have up there, because like
makes sense.
Because when we're talking about the 80s, like because already you have Hogan, Macho, Warrior, Andre, fucking Jake, fucking. I mean, what other mid? I mean, I can't say Ricky.
I mean, look, he had a very short run, and you guys are gonna hate me for saying it, but as a person, the Ultimate Warrior, I got to talk about him. I thought the Ultimate Warrior was awesome. That was great for his year and 6 months. He was awesome. Can't wrestle for shit, but he was
it's almost like
character.
talking about. It's almost like talking about O.J. Simpson. You know, O.J. Simpson was the best at what he did. You don't like him personally.
You know what?
Warrior.
I mean, Al makes such a valid point though, because as a kid, when Warriors music hit, you went fucking nuts.
Right.
And then to see the whole build between Warrior and Hogan, I mean, it was just like, so he makes a case for Warrior, but I think when you look at Rushmore, it's got to be all around. Like, you're on the Rushmore because you were all around in every facet of the business.
Yeah.
You know,
so I think that's your Rushmore though. You said it is Hogan, Macho, Andre, and then we just need a third one, right?
The last one. I mean, Flair came into the WWF for a little while. Dusty came.
Well, Flair, you can put
in the WCW
in the WCW one, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can even push Flair out into a later era.
That's true, because I mean, Flair was relevant. Flair is still relevant.
Flair apparently recently just got cleared medically to get back in the ring.
No,
so
what the fuck? Is he gonna come out? Is he gonna come out like War Machine from Marvel?
It's oh dear God is all I could say.
I heard on a Ric Flair note. I heard that the Ric Flair in the Iron Claw movie is absolutely terrible. Like he looks like it. Like he looks like him enough because it's a movie, but he tries to do the woo and can't do the woo right. So I don't know.
Right there, I would have fired him.
That should have been the number one thing for that character.
Like your audition, you should have to walk in and the first thing woo. Right.
Yeah,
That,
Luke
right. And
Orton.
then if you can't do it, you're out. But apparently, like, they got this guy, and then the meme going around is they just should have had Jay Lethal do the voice and have the guy lip sync,
Lethal's amazing.
or just somebody said just do a modern woke recasting of Ric Flair and make it Jay Lethal so he can just do the voice.
So I agree with those names.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
we got Macho. Oh yeah, so Macho, Hogan, Macho,
Andre,
Andre Warrior.
I would say. I mean, look, if you don't want to put
wouldn't
Warrior,
put Warrior on there. No.
if you don't want to put Warrior, I am okay with Ted DiBiase because I was a big fan of him.
See,
Yeah,
but now
'cause-
do you put DiBiase over Jake Roberts?
DiBiase won more
Bro,
championships.
storyline wise, yeah, he had better storylines and he had more championships. Correct. Yeah.
Might be. Yeah, this is why trying to pick a list like this is, especially when you narrow it down to 4. Like,
Well, that is a Mount Rushmore. It's only 4 of
yeah.
them.
Well, I know. Yeah, the Mount Rushmore I have in front of my TV is the Golden Girls. It's 3D printed.
I'm just trying to think of like we're not remembering somebody.
Yeah. I mean, well, Slaughter kind of, but Slaughter was Sheik. No. I'm trying to think of the guys that Hogan fought because he was always.
I mean, let me tell you something. Sheik could be a contender. Sheik
Yeah,
was
'cause
one
he
of the
had two-
greatest heels to ever do it, and he could wrestle.
Wait, what about Roddy Piper?
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus
Piper.
Christ!
That's where
Yeah,
I knew we were
that's
missing. So the right Piper goes in.
Forgot about him.
That's a done
How
deal.
did we?
That was
skip
the
over- Yeah, fuck.
That's the
it.
guy.
That's the guy.
We got
That's-
a guy.
We got a guy. We
We
found
got a
the
guy.
guy.
We found a guy.
Found a guy. Oh, all right.
All right.
Problem
So
solved.
now, what about a tag team for that era? So we already know Al's LOD all the way, which is a great
the
pick.
Road War. I mean,
I got another pick, which
I'm
I'm also
a
a huge fan.
I've got two that
The whatchamacallit, the Heart Foundation, bro.
Well,
Oh,
so
mm.
I was gonna say I'm in between two. One of them was the Heart Foundation, but the other one.
I think I know who you're talking about, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Who do you think it is?
No, I don't want to say it. But well, let me say
I
it,
think
'cause
I
you
know.
it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Steiner
Let's see
Brothers?
what it is.
Demolition.
Oh, see, I was gonna say the Bulldogs.
No, I was never the biggest. I mean, I liked them, but I was never. But
I didn't see a
Demolition,
lot of
I
Demolition.
love
That
Demolition.
was my thing. I didn't see a lot of them. I was too young. But I used to love the Steiners, man. Used to love the
Well,
Steiners.
the Steiners were amazing, but I would almost
Phenomenal.
put them. But you know what? They
Into
were
the
not
next-
phenomenal in WWE. They were phenomenal in WCW. I would put them in the WCW Hall of Fame or Mount Rushmore.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
time out.
absolutely.
Wait,
I-
Even
I-
all time
Time out.
WCW.
I got one. Money Inc.
Great tag team.
Money
Great
Inc. was
tag team.
probably my favorite
That's-
heel tag
yeah.
team of all time.
Natural disasters. They
That
were
was a good
great.
one. Not at
They
that
were
level, but they were good.
Right. Well, they were just huge. And
Oh,
I mean,
Right.
When why did I forget their name? When Macho Man and Hulk Hogan got together, what was their name?
the Mega
The
Powers.
Mega Power.
The Mega Powers was
Yeah.
a huge one. Like that,
Yeah.
the Mega Power, literally, the name on that team says it all. Like Mega
Yeah.
Powers, like
The Head
That was
Shrinkers. The Head
Oh.
Shrinkers were good.
Man.
the Bushwhackers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
And
I mean, they were great for the comic relief.
They were good, but I
They
mean,
were good.
You could almost put together a tag team Rushmore just from based on what we were saying of like
Oh yeah.
All right, so
LO
pick 4
like
out of
L-
all
I
those
mean,
we said right
geez.
now.
right. I mean, it might be LOD Demolition,
Art Foundation.
Howard Foundation, and maybe I don't know if the Bulldogs because Steve was never the big Bulldog fan. So, but they're certainly up there as being considered. one
What
of the best
about
tag teams of
IRS?
the
You
era.
wouldn't put IRS up
I-
there?
all
They
Money
were
Inc.
champs for a
Yeah, I
while.
would put Money Inc. in there.
I mean, Money Inc.
Inc.
They were
Just
champs for a while.
success wise, and that again, that's not the British Bulldogs were probably more technically sound than Money Inc. But Money Inc. was the team that had there
We
was
did
the
miss
intrigue
another one.
behind it.
We
Ooh,
did
Which
miss
one's
another
that one?
team. The Rockers.
I was thinking of the
but
Rockers.
for me, they were always a level under the Hart Foundation. They always got their ass.
Oh,
kicked.
they were. They were.
right. Yeah,
It was
they
like
were.
it was like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' early careers when they
yeah.
went
It wasn't
singles.
until Sean hit singles that he really hit his stride.
Mm-hmm.
We can even do a Rushmore on factions.
Oh God,
So many
absolutely Los Barricos.
Well, we could do that when we get to the next category, right? Because the next category is not yet. Well, when we get to the Attitude Era, we could do a Mount Rushmore of factions too.
The
That's true.
DOA.
Jesus Christ!
What was the one with the insane clown posse?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
Oh God, okay. Look how fat this freaking
Was it the
cat is.
Oddities?
The Oddities, yeah.
The Oddities. All right,
Had
so
the
what are we
freaking
up to?
guy and do the thing. I mean, now we're up to. Do we do new generation?
Yeah, like you got to
Is
do the Bret Harts and the Shawn Michaels singles era, the Razor Ramones, those guys.
That and geez, I think right off the rip, you might have named the
Three of
the guys automatically. Brett,
I think I did.
Shawn, Razor, and then the fourth one's fucking Diesel, and we're done. Like,
Well, I got a question. Time out, because I got a villain that I got to put in there.
go ahead.
Would you put Diesel over Yokozuna?
Or the Undertaker, because those guys both had big runs during the 90s.
But Undertaker's
Honestly,
another
I
one
think
that you can
fairly-
prolong out.
I
That's
think
true.
fairly,
He's probably later.
we shouldn't even put Undertaker in this because he belongs almost in every era. And just give room for other guys because the Undertaker
Right,
is
yeah,
just the
yeah.
Undertaker.
It's like a given.
Yeah, he's grandfathered in every era.
Yeah, because
Per
I mean,
se.
he started that thing after that Survivor Series in Hartford. He started wrestling Hulk Hogan. Like he came right in and was feuding
Vince.
with the champion.
Time out, Vince. We forgot another guy,
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect.
Oh fuck.
How can you do a list of wrestling without putting Mr. Perfect in it?
Mention it, 'cause
Okay.
He was.
I'll see your Mr. Perfect and match you with the ravishing Rick Rude.
Was he? He was both.
Well,
he was
I'll match
80s
your-
and he was early 90s.
That's true. We can push him out.
Well, he was
Right.
because he wrestled for a while, but man, I don't know because it was Jake the Snake and Rick Rude, and he was going after Jake's wife and had her face on his trunks and all that shit.
No,
was
he did
like
that
the-
with everybody.
Yeah, but that was like the late 80s, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Rude had a great 80s career and then had a great early 90s up until he got injured in whatever 92, 93. He had a great career. Who do we put in that fourth spot after Brett, Shawn, and Razor?
Me personally, I would probably pick Yoko over Diesel.
Ooh, I think I'm with you on that one because Yoko
Right.
was
Yeah.
he was a big part of that whole thing. And it ended up being a big deal. And it would have been cool if Hulk Hogan put over Bret Hart like he said he was going to do.
We got a problem.
What happened?
And Eric is probably like grabbing a knife and like ready
Who
to
did we
like kill
forget?
someone.
Who did we forget?
How do we not even talk about Owen Hart?
Because
Oh.
I had him in my head right now, and the reason I didn't mention him is because we have to go with accolades. Same reason I just left Mr. Perfect out over Yokozuna is accolades, right?
Right,
Yokozuna
right.
was a heavyweight champion. You know, like
Yeah.
Owen Hart at best
Was a
tag team-
slammy. He was a
He's a
slammy
two-time
winner
Slammy
2
winner.
times.
But he also had him and Brett had a great feud. But
Yeah,
he
they
didn't
did.
win the title off of him.
And he had a
But-
great tag team with Yokozuna for a while.
Very
He
good
did,
tag team,
and-
very underrated team.
And even
Yeah.
into the Attitude Era, Owen was doing good stuff. The unfortunate thing is, like, he never really got past that Intercontinental title, European title kind of level.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess he died too early, right?
Literally, yeah. Because I mean, even now, I mean, he'd be in his 60s or whatever, but he would have. I have a feeling he would have done. He was probably retired from wrestling, but I could see a world where like he opened at school or like was involved with something in wrestling. Like I think he would retire, but I don't know if he would be such a guy that if he was still alive, he'd be such a resource and a knowledge that I don't think people would let him just retire and fade into the sunset. They'd be like, no, we want your help. Like we want your
Absolutely.
advice.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And then, so how about then? When will we go into the Monday Night Wars, or WCW versus the WWF?
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets very interesting.
So will we also do a Mount Rushmore for tag teams on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Because there were some
starting
good
with tag teams.
Well, Hardys are on there.
You got to put Hardys on there for sure. Well,
And I think-
we're gonna keep WCW separate, right?
Yes, yeah. Let's keep WCW.
All right,
separate.
so Hardys definitely have to be on there, and you got his Edge and Christian. I think have to be
yeah.
on there.
Absolutely.
And you have to put the Dudley Boys on that.
The
Dudley
You have to
Boys.
put the Dudleys in there.
You gotta put the Dudley Boys in there.
Yeah. So then, do you put the New Age Outlaws, or like were they more of a gimmick than they were?
They were the
now?
next ones to come to my head, to be honest.
Okay.
I would definitely put the Outlaws.
So that might be the four, unless we can think of who else was in those.
Out?
All those ladder matches were
Amazing.
but it was the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys. There wasn't like they were adding other. They might have added other teams, but nobody else of that prestige. Like those guys
they
were
the top ones.
Yeah, because you had like the Rockers and teams like that, but those were like mid levels.
Right, dude. I
low
remember
levels.
my favorite thing to do back when the Nintendo 64 was still a thing was in WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy, and they had the ladder matches and the animation
all day long.
You remember, no matter what the ladder matches were, like whoever won, they did the animation that Jeff Hardy did from the very first Terry Invitational, where he grabs the thing and almost like slips and falls and then grabs it.
Yeah,
they copied that, and like it was awesome. And then when you go back and watch that pay-per-view, or you watch, it wasn't even pay-per-view, it was like a Raw, and you watch it and you go, oh, that's when he did. That's where they got that from.
That's so funny.
Yep.
So the WWF wrestlers of that time, Stone Cold and The Rock, boom, all right,
automatically. You got to put Triple H in there. No,
Triple H is in there.
Triple H.
I hate to say it, but I feel
Mankind.
like I was going to say Vince McMahon's the fourth one, but Mick Foley's the fourth one. Shit, because Vince, like, regardless of
he was the best heel.
He was the best heel, and he got in there and wrestled. Was he Lou Thez? No. Did he go in there and take an effort for a guy?
I think I fucked
took
up.
An absolute ass whooping. Yeah,
I think I fucked up.
Okay.
Well, I think we fucked up. Look, I love Mick Foley and I know everything he did for the sport, but if I leave Kurt Angle off this list, I might kill myself.
He's not wrong.
The next, but is Kurt Angle Attitude Era, or is he the next thing?
Well, no, you're right. We could skip him to the next era with John Cena in them. You're right.
Yeah.
Good, all right, but we're not off the hook yet, though.
No.
Who we forget?
It'll come to me.
One of those moments.
He had a name when he lost it.
I did. The train left the station. Shit.
This senior moment brought to you by Centrum Silver. Remember to take Centrum Silver.
God damn it. All right. It's gone. It's fucking gone.
It's not The Undertaker, right? Because we said about The Undertaker.
Well, no, we. Oh, yeah. Well, no, but Kane.
Yeah, no, but he's not at that level.
No,
I love Kane, but he's not at that level.
At that point,
Isaac Yankem is not on the level.
Kane was only world champion for one day during that whole.
Is that the criteria, though?
No, not necessarily. But I'm saying, like, when you look at, he was a main eventer.
It's part of a criteria, though, Steve. At the end of the day,
part of it, but it's not.
I actually wouldn't choose him over who we selected. I'm just saying, like, Kane is somebody that should be talked about.
Oh yeah,
no, I wouldn't pick him over Mick
because Kane and the Undertaker at that time, both individually, what they did, and then together, both feuding and teaming, there was something special about what those guys did for like 15 years. There was just a chemistry between. They weren't brothers, but there was a chemistry between them, like they were, they were brothers, and it was great. Whether they were going against each other in a match, or lighting each other on fire, or they were teaming up as the Brothers of Destruction and power bombing the shit out of people. So
what about Jericho?
He's the next era.
Is
Oh,
he?
you think?
Yeah, he's
Well,
the
I mean,
next era.
he's every.
He
he's
came
all-
in the
Remember,
Attitude Era.
he became a world champion in the next era. So that's where you give him his milk and cookies. Like, he
'Cause
didn't do that in the Attitude Era. Attitude Era, he was doing intercontinental shit, stuff like that, European Championship battles. But he became his own when he beat The Rock and Stone Cold for that
Was
fucking title.
That was No Way Out. What 2003?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
he
So
came. He came out in September or October of '99 against The Rock. So and that was the tail end of the Attitude Era. Ended what in 2001? Is that what we
yeah,
usually?
yeah,
usually have?
01, end of 01, early 02 when the war finished pretty much.
Right.
That was pretty much
war,
the end of it.
To me, the Attitude Era ended as soon as Stone Cold partnered up with Vince McMahon at the end of that WrestleMania. That was like
Right. It didn't feel Attitude Era no more.
right.
Like, what the hell is this?
And Jericho won a world title after that, so that all tracks. That makes sense.
Correct.
All right. How about WCW during that time? I mean, Hogan and Sting, boom, boom.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair and DDP. Because you got DDP, you got Macho, you got Goldberg. Fucking.
I don't think you could put Goldberg on there.
Yeah, but I mean,
No,
Goldberg.
bro.
Well, listen.
How do you not put Goldberg on there? He's the one that carried the show.
There was a point where Goldberg was the man, bro.
3-move Goldberg. He's right. 3-move Goldberg, but he fucking carried the show.
Yeah, no, I know.
He was the Steve Austin on steroids. He carried the show.
Sold out the Georgia Dome, highest rated Monday Nitro. He beats Hogan for the world title with help from Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone.
So wait, Goldberg, Hogan, Flair.
Savage?
No.
You put Savage in there?
No, I wouldn't put Savage in there. Look, I mean,
Savage
I'm gonna tell
is
you what, they didn't give him a lot of respect back then in those times. But no, then I'll be putting him. Never mind, I can't use his name because I got to use him later.
You know who wouldn't go up there but needs to be acknowledged is Sid
Vicious.
Yeah,
Sid Vicious is nice.
He had a better run in WWE. I think.
Oh,
He had a very short run in WWE though.
A much better one though, I think.
Luger.
Yeah, you're right.
Luger was hot.
He was
Who was that?
Was Lex Luger.
I don't know. And so I mean, it's definitely Hogan and Sting, and I think Flair is in there. And then fourth one's kind of nebulous because Goldberg was so big, and
what about
DDP
Booker T?
Oh man, how could you forget Booker T and Scott Steiner?
Booker T, man, was the man.
That's true.
Yeah, Booker came out of that looking great.
And I would also, you go teams, you got to talk about Harlem Heat.
Yep.
The Steiner brothers.
Was a great team. Well, I mean, the outside, nobody was better than the Outsiders.
Oh, the Outsiders were the shit.
They were the shit.
And they didn't even wrestle that many matches, dude. They were just cool.
But they held the belt. They were like Roman. They were the Roman Reigns of the tag team division. They just held the belt and didn't wrestle.
But they were there.
But then every so often they'd have a match, and they just like all of a sudden they pull up baseball bats and beat the shit out of somebody. Like, all right, we're back in. I'm back in on that.
Yeah, it was fucking great. I loved it.
Or take Rey Mysterio and throw him like a lawn dart into a truck.
The best, just the best.
Amazing.
So wait, are we still stuck on this last guy, or are we settling? What is it between?
Oh, the last guy is tough, dude. Because I mean, Goldberg.
Well, we got Goldberg. We got Goldberg, Hogan, Flair. We're stuck on the fourth guy.
Sting, right?
Oh, Sting's got to be on there.
Oh, Sting.
Sting has to be on there because
sorry. So Goldberg took the last spot. That's what it was. Goldberg took the last spot. Yeah, I got to give it to Goldberg over all those guys we mentioned.
As much as DDP was the guy that carried the company later, during the biggest popularity, it went from Hogan to Goldberg in terms of popularity. Oh, yeah. Yes. See, thank you for reminding us, Tara. It's Olivia's birthday, or an early happy birthday. You're going to be 15. I remember doing this last year when you turned 14. I'm glad you made it to another year, 15. One more year and you can drive 3 more years and you can vote. Wait until you're 25, you can rent a car. It's only upward from here.
Yes, happy birthday.
Woo. All right, so that's that. You want to go on? You want to move up to the post-merger ruthless aggression era? And do we do a separate one for TNA, who was running hot at that time?
You could definitely do one for TNA.
So let's do the WWF. So after the merger, after that WrestleMania, what was it, WrestleMania 20, where Austin turned on the Rock and the Line with Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
So whatever. So we're starting there, like 2001 or 2, until about the guest host era of Raw, when things started to go downhill, or when Trump wrestled Rosie O'Donnell and threw a Fudgy the Whale in her face. So maybe
I might have a problem. I might have a problem in this era because there's some guys I might have to leave out because
I'm already thinking that, because you said Kurt Angle, and you had at this time
Chris Jericho.
You had Kurt, you had Chris Jericho, you had Brock Lesnar came up and became a big deal.
You had the great Eddie Guerrero.
I was just going to say Eddie, and you had Benoit, who I know people don't
Benoit
like to
was
mention,
great too.
But that was, he was a guy that was big at that time. He might not have been the bigger star of anybody, and Eddie probably, if you stacked it up, Eddie was probably the bigger star of those two guys.
I have a question.
Rob Van Dam.
Oh, yep, Rob Van Dam.
Was Triple H bigger in this era than before in DX? I think he was.
I thought his biggest was DX, really.
This was when he was like heavyweight world champion.
Right, because early DX was about Shawn.
Right.
And then, like 2002-ish, because when 2002-ish is when that SmackDown Reign of Terror, Triple H was world champion for so long.
And he became the first, right. They handed him the world championship. And he also was the WWE champion. He had the belt for a while in that era, man. It's tough to take Triple H out of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's for shits and giggles, let's just take him out of it, because then it'll get more confusing if you think about it. Because we already got him in the last era. But
that's true.
We
leave out? We left Shawn out of the Attitude Era Mount Rushmore. That's weird.
That is weird. How did that happen?
But we put him in
the gold one. Right, we put him in the one before. Why. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough because some of these guys can be in multiple. I think
we should. It's fair. We can put him in one and move on.
That's true. Well, I think we need to pause it here, and we have to rehash this next week because we are getting top of the hour. But we have a lot more to go over, and we have a lot more. We have to even talk about factions. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can break down and go into.
And we'll go. We should go in, see what everybody who didn't log into StreamYard today thinks in the group chat, what their opinions are, and then kind of compile a more data.
I'm in, for sure. But on that note, we are at the top of the hour.
Yes, we are. Maybe they'll join us on the show next week, guys. If you're listening. Yes, we are at the top of the hour. This was a wow. We really flew by. So just for people keeping score at home, AEW's World's End happens on Saturday. I'll be watching the pay-per-view. I'll come back with a full report of the goings-on that. Should be interesting because I feel like they might pull the trigger on Samoa Joe beating MJF if MJF's really as injured as they're reporting. He's so banged, he's various injuries he's just banged up from. So they might be giving him time off. They might be revealing who the devil is. All kinds of stuff. AEW is a good old time. But we'll revisit this Mount Rushmore thing next week as well. Finish it up, like pick up from where we left off, and then finish it up. Go, move up to present day here, because then we can split it up between WWE and AEW in the current era. So that'll be fun to hash out. Because the AEW side, you could make arguments for a lot of guys. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. We broadcast every Tuesday, 9 p.m. on Eastern Time. We stream all over the internet on Twitter/X, on Instagram now, apparently, if it's not making an error. We stream on Facebook. We stream on Twitch. We stream on Steve's LinkedIn. We stream on YouTube, of course. The everything is at Tag Me a Date for the most part. At Tag Me a Date, no spaces. That's our TikTok and our Instagram and our Facebook and all that. On our Twitter/X. The only different one is Twitch. It's twitch.tv/War Report. And again, that's all one word, WARREPORT. So you type in twitch.tv/War Report and you can go follow us over there as well. There's archives of the videos on YouTube, our prior streams, YouTube as well as Twitch. So you can go back and look those up. And if you go onto any of these platforms while we're live, you can hop in the chat, ask some questions, drop a comment. Tara came in today. David came in today. Drop some comments, ask some questions. So it's good to see, see everybody coming and contributing. And if you want to be one of those people that contributes, we welcome you to do it. Just hop in the chat when we're live. And if you don't watch us live, never fear. Just go ahead, find us on Twitch or YouTube and watch the archives. Or if you prefer to get an audio version instead of a video version of the podcast, you can go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Look for the War Report. Look for Tag Me a Date. It'll come up. The graphic will come up. If you type in the War Report Wrestling Podcast, I believe there are two with the same name. So you just have to look at the graphic that's next to the description. And the graphic and the description will both say Tag Me a Date in them. It'll say Steve's name. It'll say my name. It should say a couple other people in the show, so it's us. Hit subscribe, and then usually within an hour of us going off the air, Ryan is kind enough to take the audio and put it up on your favorite podcast app, and it gets uploaded right to your tablet or mobile device. You can take it with you wherever you're listening to podcasts, on the road, doing laundry, going to the gym, whatever it is that you're doing. So if that's the way you consume podcasts, we're available for you. Other than that, just yesterday was Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. We're plugging it along into the new year, and this is our last broadcast of 2023, and we'll go and have our first live stream of 2024. That's so weird to say. Our next broadcast, the first one of 2024, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see what the world's end for AEW has in store for us. We'll see what the end of the year has in store for us wrestling fans, and what we have to look forward to in 2024 as we head along on the road to the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania. So on behalf of everybody here, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to drink, get an Uber, get a taxi, have a designated driver. And we hope to see you all in one piece in 2024. Don't light off fireworks in your hand. You can lose a finger. Celebrate safely. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for another edition of the War Report. See you.